another trouble, if there's another phone call, there's somebody coming by with disparity, how am I going to be able to tap into the power that's on the inside?
The way you tap into it is knowing his word. When you know his word will say, when all those things are coming up against you, one thing after the other, it's this thing today and it's another thing tomorrow. It's the finances here, it's the children here, it's the husband here, it's the wife here, it's the job here, it's the house here, it's everything here. It's coming up against you. But what he said in his word, many are the afflictions of the righteous. He said, I will deliver you. He said, I will deliver you.
And so I'm in this place and I'm troubled on every side and I'm pressed and I'm not really knowing exactly what I'm going to do. I hear the word of God saying, oh, okay, you say that I'm to tap into the power, and the power is in the word of God. When I'm in this place, Paul said, perplexed, and I really don't know what to do. Well, what is it that I can tap into the word of God, and I'm perplexed? I hear the word coming back saying, for the word of God is a lamp unto my feet. When I can't see my way, when I can't figure it out, I can look to God and he will be a lamp unto my feet. But if it's dark, Pastor Charles, it's grim, Pastor Charles, I can't even see right in front of me. But if I can tap into God that's on the inside of me, there would come a light springing up out of me and allow me to see the path that I should take.
That's why Paul said, when he said perplexed and not in despair, he was saying, I'm not baffled. Paul said, I ain't crazy. Look at me, I ain't crazy. Paul was looking at history. Paul was looking at history. Somebody said, you got to go through something with God to know that he's able to do something. Paul was looking at history. Paul said, I'm perplexed, yes, but I'm crazy. When I just think about some of the things that God had already done for me, I'm not crazy. I'm not going all the way to despair because I know if he did it back then, he's the same today, yesterday, and forevermore. So if he did it back then, when I was shipwrecked, and he did it back then, when I was walking in my life, and he did it back then, he's the same God, and he can do it.
And so in the text, Paul is giving us some imagery here. He's giving us some information here. He's giving us a path. And if you look in verse number 12, Paul relates the trials and the tribulations that are so tough to like death. He says this thing so thin, death worketh in us, but life in you. There's two things in that I need you to understand. What he was telling the church is, church, there are some things that I have to go through as a leader. There are some things that I have to suffer as a leader that you will never ever be able to take. But because I go through them and suffer through them, and it feels like death to me, when I'm dying in my flesh, it's going to produce life in your life. There is a price that has to be paid. Paul said, I'm willing to die for the cause of Christ so that you might live. The second thing is this. Death does not connote understand that death is not final, but death represents a passageway. What are you saying, Paul? Paul is trying to tell us that if you are willing to be persecuted, if you are willing to suffer, if you are willing to be mocked, if you are willing to let your flesh cry and cry and cry until it's dead, Paul is telling us that when you go through that thing and that thing kills the flesh, it will give you a passageway over into the spirit realm. And when you get over in the spirit realm, everything that you've been waiting for, everything that you've been longing for, everything that you've been hoping for will be waiting for you. But are you willing to take the process? Ask your neighbor, say, which would you rather have, this or that? Come on, ask this or that. And so, oh my God, which would you rather have, this or that? Would you rather have this temporal thing that's going to give you a temporary satisfaction? You know what the enemy does sometimes? When we get pressed and stressed, he tries to present things to us that will give us temporary gratification, that will give us temporary relief from the problem. And God is looking at us in heaven saying, but I'm not through. I'm not through making you yet. If you take the easy way out, you're not going to have the character that will sustain you when you get there. I just got a little bit more buffeting for you. I just got a little bit more crying for you. But we take the easy way out because it doesn't feel good. It's not pleasing to my flesh. But what Paul is trying to get us to see is that these light afflictions working in you. And that ETH on that work means that it's a process. And that it's going on and on and on. And that when you come out of one test, yes, you might go into another test, but all of it is working in you a far more exceeding weight of glory. Well, what then is the significance or the importance of even getting to that glory? Ask your neighbor, do you want the glory? Ask him, does it really matter to you? Does it matter if you make it to glory or not? Now, it's interesting to note that many times when we see that word glory, we have a tendency to think heaven. So you mean these trials and tribulations that I'm going through is working in me a far more exceeding weight of glory for heaven? Well, that may be the case too, but that is not the primary reason that Paul is giving this in the text. It is this word glory that means it's working you to a place of dignity. That doesn't quite compute with me, Pastor Charles. You mean to tell me that this situation that I am going through, that has publicly humiliated me, has everyone in my community looking at me saying, oh my God, did their home foreclose? I saw their things. You mean to tell me that this situation in my mind and in my body that is buffeting me, that has pushed me to a place of public shame, is working in me to bring me to a place of dignity? A far more exceeding weight. I gotta pause right there. A far more exceeding weight. A far more exceeding weight. This thing is so bad, I feel like I'm about to die. But God says there's a far more exceeding weight. Every single one of my relatives have publicly said things about me and caused shame, extra shame on my life, and I'm feeling the pressure and the weight of this. And God says to you, a far more exceeding weight. Well, God, apparently what you're trying to tell me is the blessing that you have for me on the other side cannot even compare to what's going to happen over here on this side. Because what's over on the other side, if I can endure this, is more weighty than what I'm feeling now. Think about it. The weight and the pressure and the stress that you feel on a daily basis. And God anointed Paul to tell us that whatever you're feeling, whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're going through, whatever shame, it has caused you, the weight of glory on the other side outweighs it. That's enough to make you say, bring it on. Bring it on. Lift your hand and say, bring it on. Come on, when you say that, you better know Satan is going to do just that. But I am not afraid of him and his tactics and what he can do, because I hear the word of God saying, greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world. Nay, in all of these things, we are more than conquerors. What shall separate me from the love of God? If I have to be buffeted, I'm willing to be buffeted, because I realize that it's working in me a far more exceeding weight of glory. The second thing it means is honor. He's saying God is going to give you the medal of honor. If you're willing to stand in the face of adversity, if you're willing to stand and look at your trial and say, it is for God that I live and for God that I die, and come hell or high water, whatever it is, I'm going to stay with God. I'm going to stand with God, because I realize that God is taking me from shame to honor. He's taking me from lack into more than enough. But are you willing to stand the process? After this comes glory. And not just glory, but a weighted glory. Not just a little blessing, but a great blessing. Not just a little trickling of rain, but showers of rain, an abundance of rain. If